Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So Solana has been for a while now in this descending channel, created this descending support line, and yeah, it seems like it broke out of it yesterday since my last video. However, we have not yet seen volume and therefore not much has happened. We are going to zoom in a minute. I'm currently thinking if we have to extend this resistance line, and if we might get one here. Yeah, so this is probably the next point to watch out for, because the price didn't really react to this one here. So it could be, because this is also very nicely in line here, you've got various touch points here, that we might have to extend it and we get a larger channel. That is absolutely a possibility. We've seen this many times before, because what you would have expected normally under normal circumstances, I mean, to be honest, we've got the long weekend, we've got the bank holiday weekend, less volume. As we broke out of this small channel, you would have expected either some volume to come in or a price decision. Now, the price didn't care, and therefore we have to assume that we might actually have to extend this and make the channel a little bit larger. And I would now expect when the price hits this, that we are then going to see there is another opportunity for a decision for Solana. Yeah, so this obviously wasn't really relevant, apparently. Yeah, I mean, we saw a bit of a retest and we saw a reaction, and I'm going to zoom in a minute, but this can happen with patterns, that if a certain pattern has broken, the price, however, does just move sideways because of a lack of volume, that you might then have to wait for the next resistance line, or you might have to extend the pattern. That happens often with wedges, with triangles, for example. Yeah, all right, but it is a first good sign that we broke out of this smaller channel and we did not break to the downside though. So if I make that a little bit larger, you can see that there was a little bit of, when we broke out here, I can adjust that. You see that we broke out, I wouldn't call it dumped down, but we moved up to 103.50. We then came down to 101 US dollars again and basically retested it. We then moved up, but with a very, very weak candle. And in that move up, where you would normally after a retest expect a strong move up, nothing happened. We only made a lower high. Okay, the problem is, I think that this retest happened with an engulfing red candle, so quite a bearish one, and there wasn't really a lot of buying volume. So we can still see, and that is what I showed you yesterday for various cryptos, you can still see the volume down here on the volume indicator reduced down. And whenever you see that, it just means that at some point here, you're going to see a breakout, because if the volume gets smaller and smaller and smaller, at some point there will be a breakout. So be ready for something here. It could happen at any time now, because you broke out. This is the rejection point, 103.50. That is how high we went immediately after the breakout. And this is where I would think Solana now needs to get through in order to confirm a breakout. And then we need the volume as well, because the volume is like making the trend. Yeah, without volume you don't get a trend. Only when you have volume a trend emerges. And think of it like a sailboat where the wind is blowing into the sail, and if you don't get the volume, you don't have the wind. Okay, so you might go in the right direction, but it might not go anywhere. So yeah, so this is what I'm waiting for here. 103.50 would be the breakout point. It could really be that we are going to move sideways until, maybe even until Tuesday, because even tomorrow we've got in many countries bank holiday. However, USA, I think, is open. Stock market is open tomorrow. So I think tomorrow we could already see some volatility, or maybe even before the daily or the weekly candle close here today on the crypto market. Yeah. But generally, 103.50 would be that next breakout point. If we move above that, because that is the first rejection point after the breakout and see volume, we could then from here go higher. Currently finding a lot of support here, because this is the, always a round number, $100 psychological level. Yeah, it is always a very, very important level. We had a lot of support here previously, here. Yeah, if I zoom out, we had resistance here. So it's always a little bit of a zone between. I think here for Solana, we could say the zone is actually between $100 and 105. Yeah, because you can see here that these peaks here, these 3 peaks, and even back here in January, the price went up to all the way $105. So that is actually a very, very important level, 105. Yeah, so it's not necessarily that 103.50 that is here on the 1 hour chart relevant, But if I zoom out, if I go to the 4-hour, maybe even on the daily, it would be that $105 level that is probably more relevant. Now a breakout above that, we've seen it here. Yeah, when we broke out above $105, it took us to 122. Yeah, so that is sort of the range in which we then are. So that could be traded from 105 to 122. Yeah, we had that before. So always important to look at what happened in the past. And if we add the VPVR, we can see we had a bit of volume here as well around the $110 mark. I mean, there was a bit of an area of trade, but nothing that stopped the price historically. So I wouldn't call this a major resistance level or so, but it is something where we had a little bit of resistance maybe, yeah. So here certainly at that point, but never again. Here we had a bit of area of trade, but again, the price kept going, and also here in the downtrend, the price kept going. So I would call the main levels to watch out for $105, 122. They are certainly the next ones that would be of interest. To the downside, if we drop to the downside here below $100, I think that would be quite bearish, because whenever you did that here in the past as well, I mean, quite often you moved down. Here the last swing low was around $78. Before that we had a peak here at $75. Here we had the low at $81. So there is significant downside potential still there for Solana. And also in terms of the Elliott waves, they gave us an understanding where the price is going to land. Since November, we reached that area, and now the price just needs to turn around. For me, that currently the price has been coming down too impulsively. For me, it is looking really like that we haven't seen the low yet. I think I said that in the last few videos. I think we are going to see lower prices going forward for Solana. I think the correction in the crypto market isn't over yet, even if we see some short-term upside, which could happen anytime really. And for that we've got the breakout points. Generally, looking at the price structure and also what I expect for Bitcoin, I wouldn't think that the overall correction is over yet, and we need to mentally at least prepare us for even lower prices around, in my opinion, the $55 mark, because that is the 78.6% FIB level. However, as I used to say, and generally say in every Solana video, we have already reached that yellow target area there with a green border around it, and that is the area where, with the highest probability, a cryptocurrency like Solana would turn around and get a trend reversal, as per the Elliott wave method, as per Fibonacci levels, as per what the price did in the past. Yeah, so this is the area between the 88.2% FIB level and the 61.8. Yeah, so between $30 and $100, it's quite a large range, yes, but it is still highly relevant, because you don't know where the price is going to turn around here. TA has its limits, yeah, and we can only go by what are the rules as per the Elliott wave method, and they would tell us that in such a higher degree wave 2, you would turn around anywhere here. An ideal level for that would be the 78.6 here at $55. That is where we would ideally expect the price to turn around. Now, we are still far away from that. We haven't seen it. Even here, that low was only $75. So it's interesting to watch the price at the moment. I mean, it's a little bit boring because it's moving sideways, but as you know, in trading, a lot of time is spent just waiting. Now, if you don't have a proper entry point, I wouldn't do anything. Need to wait for a signal here of the market. And yeah, I think a drop below $100 would be a signal, and a move above 105 would certainly be the other signal, right? So that's my view about Solana at the moment. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.